Okay, hey, it's good to be here. And this is the first group I get to talk to about kind of my philosophy on life and my philosophy on the Marine Corps and where we're going. Again, it's not about us, it's about the institution, and so what we have to do is leave it better when we depart. Okay, that's our main goal. And so as I come in, I want you to know, as the commanding officer, where I'm coming from. And you might hear some things that may seem counterculture to what we've done in the past. And that's okay. I'm going to give you my guidance. I'm going to tell you what I expect you to do, and then I expect you to carry it out. All right? That's it. Simple as that. I'm a real basic person. Okay? I don't get real complicated. All right? We, as a group, are one team. The companies, we got the companies that are in their own little realms, teach their own curriculum, but we're all part of one organization, and I want to make sure that when it comes to sharing resources across companies, that we work together to make that happen. It sounds like that happens here fairly well. If it doesn't, we need to work it out. We need to remove barriers to where we aren't sharing resources very well and make those things happen. Okay? But I'm the type of person that I don't judge people on what they wear up here. Okay? It means really not much. All right? The Marine Corps promoted me to colonel so that I could go to an organization and provide you some guidance and provide you some oversight and provide you some protection, and to help enable you to do your job. Help enable you to get things done. I'm the servant here, okay? I feel like I'm here to serve you and the students, and that you, if you have a need, my role is to ensure that the organization satisfies that need. It's really simple, okay? I'm a simple guy from Oklahoma. All right, my name's Col Breazile. I came in the Marine Corps in 1983, and I'm no different than any one of you. Okay, no different than any one of you. And so I tend to have an open door kind of policy. I always have my whole career because I listen to everybody. I take advice from the most junior guy to the most senior guy, because there are some really smart folks out there. And if I didn't listen to people, I would miss out on an opportunity to learn and make myself better. And so I listen to everybody. And I walk around a lot, and I talk to people. Okay? And so I really want to know, as I walk around, what's bothering you. Because my role here is to eliminate those bothers. Okay? So as we move forward and as we get to know each other better, when I come around, if I'm come in and pop in your classrooms, I'm there just to see how you do business. I want to understand how this organization functions. I want to know, how the students interact with their instructors. I kind of want to see that, okay, so that I can better appreciate your challenges that you might be facing. I'm about cooperation. Okay, we're all going to cooperate together, and we're going to make sure that the policies we have here make sense. Okay, sometimes policies will stay in place for years. And some commander will come in and think this is a great idea for the time, and they'll enact a policy, and then it carries on, and the next guy comes, and the next guy comes, and the next guy comes, and nothing ever changes with that policy. And then people look at the policy and go, why do we do this? I don't know. And so up front, I'm just kind of looking at all the policies. And you may hear some chatter about some of those things, but I'm just asking questions at this point because I want to better understand why we have certain policies, and so that I can make it better for you and better for the students that are here. When it comes to families, the families we have, we're not in a deploying environment. I mean, we may have a few folks deploy here and there. We need to make sure that those families are really taken care of. But also your families because we're not employing them, they still matter. Okay, when you have an issue, we need as a command to jump through our hoops when there's a family issue. Okay, the families are part of the whole team, and they're the most important things in your lives. And so we need to make sure that we do everything we can to take care of your families. I'm just saying that. It's up on my priority list, and it will always be. Families don't have rank. Okay? My wife doesn't have any rank. She's just like Private Schmuckatelli's wife, who doesn't have any rank. Okay? They're both spouses of military members, even though those military members are doing different things. So, I have no issues. I don't play any games with spouses or anything like that. I just want them to know they have our resources at the command available. If they have a need, we will do what we can to support them, help them, and if they have an emergency, we will definitely jump through the hoops to make sure that everything's taken care of. When we look ahead, we've got to look at our processes. I'm learning some of the processes that we have, and some of them don't make sense to me. Just up front, I look at it and go, why do we do that? You know, we should all, as professionals here, as senior enlisted and officers, we should really be looking at every process going, why are we doing this? Is this a smart way to do it? And can we eliminate something in this process to make it better? I will tell you right now that all of the services the DOD is looking at some budget cuts coming down the pike. I mean, the whole government is having some issues financially, right? So we would be, it's prudent for us to start taking a look at how can we streamline things, how can we save money, because when the cuts come down, we need to know where they're coming from. And so as an organization of professionals, we should be looking at every process we have. Are we spending time, money, are people being just clobbered because we've got this silly little thing we do that we get almost no bang for the buck out of? Maybe we should eliminate it, reduce it, change it, or whatever. That's what I'm going through right now. Okay. Now I will tell you, just one process we just changed yesterday was routing of the red books. I mean, red books, I guess, got routed to everybody and their brother. I don't care to see a red book. What I want to know is, what is the important information out of the red books? And I want one person to summarize that for the command, and then we'll take those comments for action. Okay? The instructors that need those red books back to do course content review and all that, we'll get them back. But they're not going to go through 50 different people in months of routing to get that done. I want a day or two. Okay, a day or two, meaning the person that takes those red books, writes the comments down, steps those comments out, done. I'm sure there's other processes that we'll see here in the schoolhouse that can be streamlined. I'm sure there's tons of them. Public engagement. The Commandant of the Marine Corps spoke to all commanders, and he said, look, there is a disconnect with the American public and what they understand about the services. And they don't understand what we do. They know we go to Iraq and Afghanistan, but they don't have a clue as to what it takes to build a Marine, train a Marine, and deploy a Marine. They have no concept of all of what it goes into to do all of that. And that what we're doing across the whole Marine Corps. And he said it's our obligation to inform the American public. It's to get the word out about what we do. And talk about what we do. In public forums. In public forums. On the internet. On social media sites. On blogs. In newspapers. Wherever we can talk about it. At public town halls, whatever. He wants us out there talking about what we're doing, what our piece of the pie is, what we're doing for the Marine Corps. And it's very important to them. It's very important to them because, you know, less than 1% of the American public comes into the military. And that 1%, say, has their family circle that has a tie back to the military. But there's so many millions of others that have no concept of what we do. They really don't. And so these young Marines that come through here, you know, does anybody in the Marine Corps know what we're doing here at MCCES? I mean, I didn't. I'd never been here. I hadn't even asked where the building was, okay, when I arrived in town. Didn't know anything about it. Didn't have a clue what kind of training was going on there. I knew you did communication training. I know there's some air command and control stuff. You know, I knew we did maintenance, only because I've been in this field for long enough that I know that. But I don't have a real appreciation for what you do. And so people back in Des Moines, Iowa, or Dallas, Texas, or, you know, Raleigh, North Carolina, they had no clue. But they're the people paying our salaries. They're the people we're obligated to inform about what we do. It's a different time. A lot of us grew up in the Cold War era, before this current war era. And back then we controlled and we guarded every bit of information because we thought that was the right thing to do, because the Soviets were going to get our information and do something with it. Well, now with the world and the way information flows, you know it. Information flows from here to China to everywhere, and it's there. It's out there, right? And we are going to embrace those mediums to get our word out. We as an organization are going to put a lot of content on the internet, on the public internet, a lot of content. I mean, there will not be one class that comes through here that there are not pictures of that class going up on Flickr, Facebook, and any other social media. Okay. There will be, every course of instruction will have a videotape of it. And if it's not sensitive and classified or whatever, it's going to go up on the internet. Okay.